Welcome to the Def Cam. When stories begin to circulate about advanced fighter aircraft falling from the sky, heavy transport planes lifting off in urgency, and hypersonic missiles striking distant targets, it signals a conflict that has crossed into a far more dangerous phase. Reports emerging from the Gulf region describe multiple United States Air Force fighter jets shot down over Kuwait during an expanding war involving the United States, Israel, and Iran. Some sources claim 3 aircraft were lost. Others say as many as 7. Visual accounts mention flames pouring from at least one engine, suggesting impact by a heat-seeking missile. At the same time, large cargo aircraft such as the C-5 Galaxy and the C-17 Globemaster have reportedly departed regional bases in quick succession. Statements attributed to the American defense leadership indicate that this war may not end quickly and that casualties could mount in a manner reminiscent of prolonged campaigns in the past. Additional reports speak of specialized emergency teams from Abu Dhabi assisting with fire control efforts aboard the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. Meanwhile, claims of Iranian hypersonic missile strikes on Israeli targets have begun to surface. If even part of this picture proves accurate, the military implications are profound. The reported loss of fighter aircraft over Kuwait is especially significant because that airspace is normally considered secure for coalition operations. United States tactical aviation in the Gulf relies on layered support. Fighters operate with assistance from airborne early warning aircraft, aerial refueling tankers, and electronic warfare platforms. They are equipped with radar warning receivers, infrared missile alert systems, and countermeasures such as flares designed to defeat heat-seeking threats. A successful infrared-guided interception implies that an adversary either achieved close-range positioning or employed advanced imaging infrared seekers capable of distinguishing decoys from genuine engine signatures. Modern heat-seeking missiles analyze thermal contrast and track the hottest consistent source, often the exhaust plume. If several aircraft were lost within a short time frame, it suggests either coordinated ambush tactics or a temporary breakdown in protective coverage. Kuwait's proximity to Iran and Iraq places it within reach of various missile and air defense systems. Iran maintains a network of surface-to-air missiles and mobile launchers designed to complicate enemy air operations. These systems may combine legacy platforms with more modern radar and guidance technologies. Mobility is central to survivability. Launchers can relocate after firing, reducing vulnerability to retaliatory strikes. In a high-intensity environment, even a limited number of successful engagements can alter operational tempo. Pilots may be required to adjust altitude profiles, minimize afterburner use to reduce infrared signature, and operate with tighter formation discipline. The visible movement of strategic airlifters adds urgency to the situation. The C-5 Galaxy and the C-17 Globemaster are not routine transports. They carry armored vehicles, missile defense batteries, munition stockpiles, and engineering equipment. Their departure from a base following reported fighter losses may indicate reinforcement of other locations, evacuation of sensitive assets, or repositioning in anticipation of missile attacks. Gulf bases are within range of ballistic and cruise missiles. Hardened shelters and runway repair teams can mitigate damage, but sustained strikes strain logistics. Airlift becomes the artery through which combat sustainability flows. The statement from the American defense minister acknowledging the possibility of a prolonged war reflects recognition of strategic depth. Conflicts involving Iran are unlikely to be brief exchanges. Iran's doctrine emphasizes endurance and layered retaliation. It possesses ballistic missiles capable of striking regional bases and has invested in long-range unmanned systems and cruise missiles. Even without air superiority, it can impose costs through indirect means. Preparing the public for casualties signals that planners anticipate resistance rather than rapid collapse of adversary capacity. The reported fire aboard the aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln introduces maritime vulnerability into the equation. Aircraft carriers are protected by escort vessels equipped with missile interceptors and advanced radar systems. They operate within a defensive bubble that includes electronic countermeasures and layered detection. However, the confined waters of the Gulf reduce maneuvering space and increase exposure to anti-ship ballistic and cruise missiles. An onboard fire may result from mechanical malfunction, missile near miss, or accidental ignition during flight operations. The involvement of specialized teams from Abu Dhabi suggests regional partners are actively supporting crisis management. Even if the damage is contained, temporary disruption of flight decks affects sortie generation rates and reduces strike capacity. Perhaps the most destabilizing reports concern Iranian hypersonic missile strikes on Israeli targets. Hypersonic systems travel at speeds exceeding 5 times the speed of sound and can maneuver during flight, complicating interception. Their high velocity compresses reaction time for air defense networks. Israel fields layered missile defense systems designed to intercept rockets, cruise missiles, and ballistic threats. However, maneuvering hypersonic vehicles presents a more complex challenge due to unpredictable flight paths and lower interception windows. If Iranian forces have successfully deployed such weapons operationally, it marks a technological milestone with significant deterrence implications. Israel's integration of advanced radar, missile interceptors, and intelligence sharing with the United States provides a formidable shield. Yet no defense architecture is impermeable. Saturation attacks that combine drones, cruise missiles, and high-speed vehicles can strain interceptors and tracking systems. The psychological effect of even limited penetration is considerable. Civil defense infrastructure may be activated, air raid sirens deployed, and public shelters utilized. Economic activity slows under persistent threat. The broader strategic context must also be considered. United States and Israeli coordination likely involve intelligence fusion, satellite surveillance, and cyber operations aimed at degrading Iranian command networks. Iran, in turn, may leverage regional partners and non-state actors to open secondary fronts. Maritime choke points, such as the Strait of Hormuz, could become pressure points. Energy markets respond quickly to any hint of prolonged instability in that corridor. In assessing these developments, caution is necessary. Initial battlefield reports often exaggerate or misinterpret events. Video footage can lack context. Confirmation of aircraft losses and missile impacts requires independent verification. Nevertheless, the convergence of multiple indicators suggests that the conflict environment is intense and fluid. Sustained warfare in this theater will test logistical endurance and political cohesion. Aircraft losses must be replaced, munition stockpiles replenished, and damaged facilities repaired. Air superiority must be reasserted or contested with greater caution. Naval forces must maintain protective screens while projecting power. Missile defense systems must adapt to evolving threat profiles. At its core, this confrontation reflects the reality of modern high-technology warfare. Infrared seekers, hypersonic propulsion, electronic countermeasures, and strategic airlift are not abstract concepts. They determine survival, reach, and endurance. Reports of flaming engines over Kuwait, heavy transports departing under tension, emergency teams boarding carriers, and high-speed missiles striking distant cities all point to a conflict that is testing the limits of advanced military systems. Whether this phase hardens into a prolonged campaign or de-escalates through diplomatic channels will depend on how each side balances deterrence, retaliation, and the risks of uncontrolled escalation. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for upcoming videos.